The Deep Space Monitoring Station in the Vega sector picked up something strange. The energy readings were unlike anything the Galactic Council had seen in 300 years of space exploration. Admiral Velthar, a tall being with blue skin and 6 arms, stared at the display screen in his command center. The numbers kept changing, growing larger with each passing minute. "This cannot be correct," Velthar said to his aide. "Check the sensors again." The aide, a small creature with large eyes and thin fingers, worked quickly at the control panel. "Sir, I have checked 3 times. The readings are accurate. Something massive is moving through space in Sector 4047. Velthar felt worried. In all his years of service, he had never seen energy readings this high. The object was moving slowly but steadily toward the inner systems. Whatever it was big enough to power an entire planet. "Send the reconnaissance fleet," Velthar ordered. "I want to know what we are dealing with." Far away in space, the human ship called Iron Mountain moved through the darkness between stars. The ship was enormous, stretching 15 kilometers from front to back. Its hull was dark gray metal, covered with thousands of lights that twinkled like stars. Inside the ship, over 2 million people lived and worked in a floating city. Captain Jiho sat in his command chair on the bridge. He was a man of 40 years with black hair and calm eyes. He had been captain of the Iron Mountain for 5 years, leading his people on their journey to find new worlds where humans could live. "Captain," said First Officer Minho, walking up to Jiho's chair, "our long-range sensors are picking up unusual activity ahead." Jiho looked at the main screen. "What kind of activity?" "Multiple ships, sir. They appear to be alien vessels. This would be our first contact with non-human life." Jiho felt his heart beat faster. First contact. Every human in space had dreamed of this moment, the day they would meet other intelligent beings from the stars. "How many ships?" Jiho asked. 12 vessels, sir. They are much smaller than us, but they are moving in formation. They appear to be military ships." Chief Engineer Sora spoke up from her station. "Captain, their technology is interesting. Their ships use fusion engines, but the design is different from ours. They seem to focus on speed rather than size." Jiho nodded. The aliens built small, fast ships while humans built massive vessels like cities. It made sense. Different species would have different ways of traveling through space. "What are your orders, sir?" Minho asked. Jiho thought carefully. The Iron Mountain carried weapons, but they were mainly for breaking apart asteroids and defending against space debris. The ship was built to protect and support the families living inside, not to fight wars. "Set course to intercept," Jiho said, "but keep our weapons powered down. Signal all departments to prepare for first contact protocols." Navigation Officer Kyung began plotting a new course. "Course laid in, sir. We will reach their position in 6 hours." "Good." Minho, contact Dr. Wu Jin. Tell him to prepare his diplomatic team. We are going to make history today. Meanwhile, the alien reconnaissance fleet moved quickly through space. Commander Zixtel commanded the 12 ships from his flagship. He was a reptilian being with green scales and yellow eyes. His species, the Kethfar, were known throughout the galaxy as excellent scouts and information gatherers. "Commander," called his sensor officer, "we are detecting the source of the energy readings." "Show me," Zixtel ordered. The main screen lit up with an image that made every alien on the bridge freeze in shock. In the distance, a massive structure moved through space. It was clearly artificial, clearly a ship, but it was larger than anything they had ever seen. "How big is that thing?" Zixtel whispered. 15 kilometers long, sir. 3 kilometers wide. The energy output suggests it could power our entire homeworld. Zixtel felt cold fear run through his body. In 300 years of galactic civilization, no species had ever built anything that large. Most warships were no more than a few hundred meters long. This monster was the size of a small moon. "Are there weapons?" he asked. "Yes, sir. Hundreds of them. We cannot identify the technology, but the power reading suggests they could destroy planets." Zixtel stared at the image on the screen. Who were these beings? Why had they built such a massive warship? Were they planning to conquer the galaxy? "Send a message to the Council immediately," Zixtel ordered. "Tell them we have found something that threatens all life in the galaxy." Back on the Iron Mountain, life continued as normal for most people. Children played in the parks built inside the ship. Families ate dinner together in their homes. Workers maintained the massive engines that pushed the ship through space. In the medical bay, Dr. Inha was treating a worker who had hurt his hand. She was a kind woman who had dedicated her life to helping others. As she worked, her assistant told her about the alien ships they were going to meet. "Are you worried, Doctor?" the assistant asked. "No," Inha said with a smile. "I am excited. Think of all the medical knowledge we might learn from each other. Maybe they have diseases we can help cure. Maybe they have medicines that could help our people." In the engineering section, Taewon was checking the ship's main power systems. He was proud of his work keeping the Iron Mountain running. The ship was not just a vessel, it was a home for millions of people. Every system had backups, and every backup had backups. Human engineers built things to last forever. "Hey, Taewon," called his friend Gunwoo from the security office. "Did you hear we are meeting aliens today?" "Yes," Taewon replied. "I hope they are friendly. This ship has enough supplies to help them if they need anything." Communications Officer Nari was working hard to prepare for contact with the alien ships. She had studied every known language pattern and was ready to try to understand how the aliens might communicate. "Captain," Nari called out, "I am ready to attempt communication when we are in range." "Very good," Jiho replied. "Remember, we want to show them we are peaceful. We are explorers, not conquerors." As the Iron Mountain moved closer to the alien fleet, both sides prepared for a meeting that would change everything. The aliens saw a massive warship that could destroy their entire civilization. The humans saw an opportunity to make new friends among the stars. Neither side knew that this first meeting would shake the very foundations of galactic society. The Galactic Council had rules about how big ships could be and how many weapons they could carry. The Iron Mountain broke every rule simply by existing. Captain Jiho looked out at the stars and thought about his daughter who was attending school somewhere in the ship's education center. He thought about all the families depending on him to keep them safe. He thought about the future of humanity among the stars. "Time to intercept?" he asked. 4 hours, 37 minutes, Kyung replied. Jiho nodded. In less than 5 hours, humans would no longer be alone in the universe. He just hoped the aliens would understand that the Iron Mountain was not a weapon of war, but a home carrying humanity's hopes and dreams to the stars. The stage was set for a meeting that would terrify the galaxy and reveal the true nature of human space exploration. Commander Zixtel watched his screens as his 12 ships dropped out of hyperspace. What he saw in front of him made his blood turn cold. The massive human vessel hung in space like a dark mountain floating among the stars. Up close, it was even more terrifying than the sensor readings had suggested. "By the ancient gods," whispered his weapons officer, a thin being with purple skin. "Look at the size of that thing." The Iron Mountain stretched before them like a floating city. Its hull was covered with thousands of lights, gun ports, and docking bays. Strange antenna arrays stuck out from its surface like the spines of some massive space creature. The alien fleet, which had seemed powerful just moments before, now looked like tiny insects buzzing around a sleeping giant. "Commander," the censor officer called out, his voice shaking. "I am reading massive power spikes all along their hull. They are scanning us." Zixtel felt his hands shake as he gripped his command chair. "Are their weapons powered?" "I cannot tell, sir. Their technology is so advanced that our sensors cannot understand what we are seeing. But, sir, they have enough firepower showing to destroy our entire fleet 100 times over." On the bridge of the Iron Mountain, Navigation Officer Kyung calmly reported the arrival of the alien ships. "Captain, 12 vessels have just appeared on our sensors. They are holding position about 50,000 kilometers away." Captain Jiho leaned forward in his chair. Through the bridge windows, he could see tiny dots of light in the distance. Those dots were alien ships carrying the first non-human beings he would ever meet. "Any hostile actions?" Jiho asked. Weapons Officer Do-hyun checked his displays. "No, sir. They appear to be scanning us, but they have not powered weapons or moved into attack positions. Their ships are small but well armed for their size." Jiho nodded. The aliens were being careful, which was smart. He would do the same thing if he encountered a massive unknown vessel in space. "Sora, what can you tell me about their technology?" Jiho asked his chief engineer. Sora studied her displays with interest. "Fascinating, Captain. Their ships use fusion engines, but the design is completely different from ours. They seem to build for speed and agility rather than protection and endurance. Very efficient for their size." First Officer Minho walked over to Jiho's chair. "Sir, should we launch fighters? Standard first contact protocol suggests a show of defensive capability." "No," Jiho said firmly. "Look at their ships, Minho. They are already scared. If we launch our fighters, they might think we are attacking." Minho looked at the alien vessels on the screen. They were beautiful ships, sleek and fast-looking. But next to the Iron Mountain, they looked like children's toys. "You are right, sir. We probably look like a nightmare to them." Communications. Officer Nari turned from her station. "Captain, I am ready to attempt contact. I have prepared a basic mathematical sequence to show we are intelligent and peaceful." "Do it," Jiho ordered. "Let them know we come in peace." Aboard the lead alien ship, Zixtel received a report that made his fear even worse. "Commander, they are sending a communication signal. It appears to be a mathematical sequence." "Are they demanding our surrender?" Zixtel asked. "No, sir. It appears to be a peaceful greeting. The mathematics show intelligence and a desire to communicate." Zixtel stared at the massive human ship. Why would such a powerful vessel want to talk instead of simply destroying them? Maybe the humans were toying with them before the attack. "Send a reply," Zixtel ordered. "But keep our engines ready for emergency jump to hyperspace." Back on the Iron Mountain, Dr. Wu Jin arrived on the bridge with his diplomatic team. Wu Jin was an older man who had studied alien contact procedures for years, even though no one had ever expected to use them. "Captain," Wu Jin said, "we are receiving a mathematical reply from the aliens. They appear to understand our peaceful intentions." "Good," Jiho said. "What is your recommendation?" We should send visual images next. Let them see that we are living beings, not war machines. But, sir, we need to be very careful about how we present ourselves. What do you mean? Wu Jin gestured toward the bridge windows, where the alien ships could be seen in the distance. Captain, imagine you are them. You see a ship the size of a city with enough weapons to crack a moon. Then you see images of the beings inside. What would you think? Jiho understood. They would think we are a race of super warriors. Exactly. We need to show them our families, our children, our normal daily life. We need them to understand that the Iron Mountain is not a warship. It is a home. Meanwhile, the alien crew was trying to understand what they were facing. Science Officer Kelthin, a being with large eyes and tentacles instead of arms, studied the scans of the human vessel. Commander, this makes no sense, Kelthin reported. The energy pattern suggests this vessel supports a massive population. I am reading life signs for over 2 million beings. 2 million? Zixtel could not believe. That is impossible. No ship can carry so many people. Sir, I am also detecting strange areas inside the ship. There appear to be parks, schools, and what look like residential districts. Commander, I do not think this is a warship at all. Zixtel stared at his science officer. What do you mean? I think it is a colony ship, sir. A mobile city. But why does a colony ship need so many weapons? On the Iron Mountain, Chief Medical Officer Inha was watching the first contact procedures from her medical bay. She had prepared aid supplies in case the aliens needed medical help. As a doctor, she saw every being as a patient who might need care. Nurse Sunmi, she called to her assistant, prepare the universal medical scanners. If we get permission, I want to learn about alien biology so we can help them if they are ever injured. In the security office, Chief Gunwu was also watching the alien ships. As head of security for 2 million people, he was naturally cautious. But he was also curious about alien martial arts and self-defense techniques. Those are good-looking ships, he told his deputy. Fast and agile. I bet the beings who built them are quick and smart. Cultural liaison Minji was preparing files about human art, music, and literature to share with the aliens. She believed that sharing culture was the best way for different species to understand each other. Think about it, she told her assistant, Hyamin. They have never seen human music or human art. We are about to introduce them to thousands of years of human creativity. As the two groups of ships faced each other in space, both sides prepared for the next step in contact. The aliens were slowly realizing that the massive human vessel might not be the doomsday weapon they had feared. The humans were beginning to understand that they had built something that scared other species just by existing. Strategic analyst Jinsu studied the alien fleet formation. Captain, their positioning suggests they are prepared to run rather than fight. They are more afraid of us than we are of them. Pilot Yuna, who was monitoring ship movements, added, Their ships could outrun us easily, sir. If they wanted to escape, they would have done it already. They are staying because they want to communicate. Captain Jiho made his decision. Nari, send them visual images of our crew. Show them families, children playing, people working together. Let them see who we really are. As the first images of humans were transmitted to the alien fleet, Zixtel and his crew stared in amazement. The beings on the screen looked peaceful. They showed images of small human children laughing and playing. They showed families eating meals together. They showed people working together to maintain their massive ship. These beings, Zixtel said quietly, they are not warriors. They are families. "But, sir," his weapons officer asked, "why do families need such a massive ship with so many weapons?" Zixtel looked at the Iron Mountain hanging in space before them. For the first time since arriving, he was not afraid. He was curious. "I do not know," he said, "but I think we are about to find out." The emergency alert reached every corner of Galactic Council space within 6 hours. Admiral Velthar's message was short but terrifying. Unknown species detected with vessel larger than any known ship. Immediate council session required. The council homeworld of Nexus Prime, beings from 47 different species gathered in the Great Assembly Hall. The circular chamber buzzed with worried voices, speaking in dozens of languages. Holographic displays showed the transmitted images of the Iron Mountain, and every delegate stared in shock at the massive human vessel. Council Speaker Mordain called for order. She was an ancient being whose species had founded the council 3 centuries ago. Her blue skin glowed softly as she spoke, and her 4 arms gestured for silence. "Fellow delegates," Mordain announced, "we face a crisis unlike any in our history. A new species has appeared with technology that violates every treaty about ship construction and weapons limits." The Vorthak delegate, a large creature covered in thick gray skin, stood up. "Speaker Mordain, the size of this vessel suggests an invasion force. No peaceful species would build such a weapon." Murmurs of agreement filled the chamber. The images of the Iron Mountain were displayed on the main screen, showing its massive size and the thousands of weapon ports along its hull. "The mathematics are simple," continued the Vorthak delegate. "This single ship carries more firepower than our entire combined fleet. If there are more ships like this one, we face extinction." The Altarian delegate, a thin being with large black eyes, raised a concern. "Speaker, our intelligence suggests this species calls themselves humans. They have transmitted images of their crew, and they appear to be a family-based social structure. Children were visible in their transmissions." "Children?" The Kethvar military advisor Zekmol stepped forward. "Warriors often bring their young to teach them about conquest. The presence of children proves nothing about their peaceful intentions." Meanwhile, aboard the Iron Mountain, Communications Officer Nari was working hard to establish better contact with the alien fleet. The mathematical exchanges had been successful, and both sides had shared basic images. Now she was trying to build a simple translation system. "Captain," Nari reported to Jiho, "I am detecting massive communication activity among the alien ships. They appear to be reporting our presence to a larger authority." Captain Jiho nodded. "That makes sense. If I encountered an unknown vessel this size, I would report it immediately, too." Diplomatic advisor Wu Jin approached the captain's chair. "Sir, we need to be very careful about our next moves. Based on the alien fleet's behavior, they view us as a potential threat. Any aggressive action could be misinterpreted." "What do you recommend?" Jiho asked. "We should try to demonstrate our peaceful intentions through actions, not just words. Perhaps we could show them our manufacturing capabilities, our medical facilities, or our educational systems." Chief Engineer Sora looked up from her station. "Captain, I have been analyzing their communication patterns. These beings use a very different approach to space travel than we do. Their ships are built for speed and efficiency, not endurance and self-sufficiency." "What does that tell us?" Jiho asked. "It suggests they live close to their home systems and make short trips between settled worlds. They probably have never encountered a long-range colony ship like ours." First Officer Minho added, "That would explain their fear, sir. To them, any ship this size must be a military vessel because they have never needed to build mobile cities." Back in the council chamber, the debate was growing more heated. The Zolonian delegate, a reptilian being with bright green scales, demanded immediate military action. "We cannot wait to discover their intentions," the Zolonian argued. "We must mobilize our fleets and prepare for war. This single ship could destroy any of our homeworlds." But the Ferenthian delegate, a peaceful species known for their wisdom, disagreed. "Fellow council members, we should remember our own principles. We are a peaceful alliance. Our first response should not be violence." "Peace?" The Vorthak delegate slammed his heavy fist on his podium. "Look at that monster ship. They have built a weapon that could crack moons. How can we speak of peace when facing such power?" Speaker Mordain called for order again. "Delegates, we must consider all options. Military Advisor Zekmol, what is your assessment of our defensive capabilities?" Zekmol stepped forward, his green scales reflecting the chamber lights. "Speaker, if this vessel represents the standard for human military technology, our combined fleets would be insufficient for defense. We would need to evacuate entire systems." The chamber fell silent. For 300 years, the Galactic Council had maintained peace through mutual cooperation and balanced military forces. No single species had ever possessed the power to threaten all others. However, Zekmol continued, our reconnaissance data suggests something unusual about this vessel. "Explain," Mordain ordered. "The energy patterns and internal structure suggest this ship supports a massive civilian population. Scans indicate over 2 million life forms aboard, including many small beings that appear to be children." The Altarian delegate spoke up. "Could this be a generation ship? A vessel designed for very long journeys between distant stars?" "Possibly," Zekmol replied. "But why would a generation ship need such massive weapons?" On the Iron Mountain, life continued normally for most of the ship's population. In the education sector, teacher Hyemin was explaining to her class of human children about the exciting discovery of alien life. "Today, we are making history," she told her students. "We are the first humans to meet beings from other worlds." One young student raised her hand. "Teacher Hyemin, are the aliens scary?" "No, dear," Hyemin smiled. "They are just different from us. They come from different worlds with different ways of living. We can learn many things from each other." In the medical bay, Dr. Inha was preparing her staff for possible alien contact. "We must be ready to provide medical assistance if needed," she told her team. "These beings have never been exposed to human diseases, and we have never been exposed to theirs. We need to be very careful." Medical researcher Sunmi asked, "Doctor, what if their biology is completely different from ours?" "Then we learn," Inha replied. "Every species we meet teaches us something new about life in the universe." Back in the council chamber, the debate continued. The Thraxian delegate, a being with multiple eyes and a voice like singing crystals, suggested a different approach. "Fellow delegates, perhaps we are looking at this wrong. What if this species represents an opportunity rather than a threat?" "Opportunity?" The Vorthak delegate could not believe what he was hearing. "They could destroy us all." "Yes," the Thraxian replied calmly. "But they have not. They are communicating peacefully. They have shown us images of their families and children. Perhaps they are explorers, not conquerors." Strategic analyst Jinsu aboard the Iron Mountain was studying the alien communication patterns and fleet movements. "Captain," he reported, "based on their behavior and positioning, I believe these aliens are reporting to a larger governmental body. We may soon face contact with their full leadership." "Are you concerned?" Captain Jiho asked. "Not concerned, sir, but we should prepare for more complex negotiations. These beings appear to be part of a larger alliance or government structure." Cultural liaison Minji was working with her team to prepare cultural information packages for the aliens. "We need to show them who we are as a people," she explained. "Our art, our music, our history of exploration and cooperation." "What if they do not understand human culture?" her assistant asked. "Then we learn how to explain it better," Minji replied. "Communication is about finding common ground between different ways of thinking." The council session continued for hours as delegates argued about the best response to humanity's appearance. Some called for immediate military preparation, while others urged caution and diplomacy. Finally, Speaker Mordain called for a vote. "All those in favor of opening diplomatic communication with this new species?" 23 delegates raised their hands. "All those in favor of immediate military preparation?" 24 delegates raised their hands. The chamber fell silent. The council was split exactly down the middle. "The vote is tied," Mordain announced. "In such cases, council law requires us to choose the path of caution. We will attempt diplomatic contact while quietly preparing our defenses." As the council session ended, delegates from 47 species returned to their homeworlds, carrying news that would shake the galaxy. A new species had appeared with technology that challenged everything they thought they knew about space travel and ship construction. But deep in space, aboard the Iron Mountain, Captain Jiho was focused on a simpler goal. He wanted to make friends with the first aliens humanity had ever met. He had no idea that his ship had already become the most feared vessel in galactic history. The first major misunderstanding began with a simple engineering test. Chief Engineer Taiwan was running routine maintenance on the Iron Mountain's main weapons array when he decided to test the targeting systems. The massive ship's defensive guns rotated slowly as they locked onto nearby asteroids for calibration. Commander Zixtel watched in horror as the human ship's weapons moved. "They are targeting us!" he shouted to his crew. "All ships, prepare for emergency jump to hyperspace." "Wait," his science officer called out. "They are not aiming at us. The weapons are pointed at the asteroid field behind us, but it was too late." The panic had already spread through the alien fleet, and 3 ships had already jumped to hyperspace to carry warning messages back to Council space. Aboard the Iron Mountain, Weapons Officer Do-Yun noticed the alien ship's sudden movement. "Captain, 3 of the alien vessels have just disappeared. The remaining ships are powering their engines." Captain Jiho felt worried. "Did we do something to frighten them?" "Sir," Chief Engineer Taiwan reported, "I was running weapons calibration tests. The guns were aimed at asteroids, but maybe the aliens thought we were targeting them." "Shut down all weapons immediately," Jiho ordered. "Signal the aliens that it was just a test." But the damage was done. Within hours, emergency messages reached the Galactic Council headquarters. The reports painted a terrifying picture. The massive human ship was now actively targeting alien vessels with weapons of unknown power. Admiral Velthar read the reports with growing alarm. "They are preparing to attack," he told his staff. "We must warn all systems immediately." The panic spread like wildfire through Council space. On 47 different worlds, military leaders began emergency preparations. Fleet commanders canceled leave and recalled ships from exploration missions. Planets activated their defensive systems for the first time in decades. On the trading world of Corvin Prime, merchant ships rushed to leave the system before human warships could arrive. The space docks emptied as cargo haulers and passenger transports fled toward the inner systems. On the peaceful agricultural world of Threnody, farmers looked up at the sky with new fear. Their planet had no military defenses because they had never needed them. Now they wondered if their peaceful world would be destroyed by unknown aliens with planet-killing weapons. The military base on Fortress 7 began preparing for siege. General Korth Von, a veteran warrior from the Draknor species, studied tactical reports about the human ship. "How do we fight something that size?" asked his aide. "We do not fight it," General Korth Von replied grimly. "We try to slow it down, while civilian populations evacuate. Meanwhile, Chief Science Officer Sunmi, aboard the Iron Mountain, was analyzing the alien communication intercepts that their sensors had picked up. What she discovered made her very concerned. "Captain," Sunmi reported, "I am detecting massive communication activity throughout this region of space. The aliens appear to be mobilizing their military forces." "Military forces?" Jiho asked. "Why would they do that?" "Sir, based on the communication patterns, I believe they think we are preparing to attack them." First Officer Minho spoke up. "But we have done nothing aggressive. We sent peaceful messages and showed them our families." "Yes," Sunmi replied, "but think about how we must look to them. We have a ship larger than their cities with more weapons than their fleets. When we tested our guns, they probably thought we were preparing to fire." Diplomatic Advisor Wu Jin approached the captain's chair. "Sir, we have a serious problem. If the aliens are mobilizing for war, we need to fix this misunderstanding quickly." "What do you suggest?" Jiho asked. "We need to prove that we are peaceful, not just say it. Actions speak louder than words." Communications Officer Nari had been working to improve translation with the alien fleet. "Captain, I am finally beginning to understand their language. They keep using words that translate to invasion, weapon, and destruction when they talk about us." "Can you tell them we are not invaders?" Jiho asked. "I am trying, sir, but they seem to think our ship itself is proof of hostile intentions." The situation grew worse when reconnaissance reports reached the Council about other human activities in space. Long-range sensors detected more massive energy signatures in distant systems, suggesting the presence of additional human vessels. "There are more of them," reported Scout Captain Velkoth to the Council Emergency Committee. "I count at least 6 similar energy signatures spread across 1,000 light-years of space." The committee members looked at each other in shock. 6 more ships like the Iron Mountain meant the humans had enough firepower to destroy the entire galactic civilization. "This is clearly a coordinated invasion," declared military advisor Zekmol. "They have positioned massive warships throughout our territory." But the truth was very different. The other ships were additional human colony vessels, each carrying millions of people seeking new worlds to settle. The ships were spread out because humans were methodically exploring different regions of space, not because they were planning military attacks. Human colonies like New Sol and Terra Nova had been established years ago by earlier colony ships. These peaceful settlements were now being identified as invasion beachheads by panicked alien intelligence officers. Colony Administrator Kyung on New Sol received a priority message from the Iron Mountain asking about any alien contact. "No," he replied. We have been alone out here for 3 years, but lately our sensors have detected increased ship movement in nearby systems. What Kyung did not know was that those ships belonged to alien species evacuating their colonies and preparing for war against humans they had never met. Aboard the Iron Mountain, Security Chief Gunwoo was trying to understand the growing crisis. "Captain, from a security perspective, the aliens' behavior suggests they are preparing for a major conflict." "But we have shown them we are peaceful," Jiho protested. "Sir, imagine you are a small village and a giant army camps outside your walls. Even if the army says they are peaceful, would you believe them?" Jiho finally understood. The Iron Mountain was so powerful that its mere presence was seen as a threat, regardless of human intentions. "We need to show them what our ship really is," Jiho decided. "Not just tell them, but actually show them." Medical Officer Inha suggested, "Captain, what if we invited some of their people aboard? Let them see our hospitals, our schools, our homes." "That could work," agreed Cultural Liaison Minji. "If they see how we really live, they will understand we are not warriors." But even this plan created problems. When the humans sent an invitation for alien representatives to visit the Iron Mountain, many aliens interpreted it as a demand for hostages or a threat to capture their leaders. Strategic analyst Jinsu was monitoring alien communication networks when he made a disturbing discovery. "Captain, the aliens are not just mobilizing their military forces. They are evacuating civilian populations from border systems." "Evacuating?" Jiho felt sick. "They think we are going to attack their families?" "Yes, sir. Entire worlds are being emptied of non-military personnel." The misunderstanding had spiraled completely out of control. What began as humanity's peaceful first contact with alien life had become the galaxy's greatest crisis in 3 centuries. Fleet Admiral Morthek, of the Council's combined military forces, was preparing the largest fleet mobilization in galactic history. Over 3,000 ships from dozens of different species were converging on the human contact zone. "We cannot win a direct battle," Admiral Morthek told his staff. "But we can buy time for civilian evacuations and hope the humans will negotiate, rather than simply destroy us all." Back on the Iron Mountain, Captain Jiho stared out at the stars and felt the weight of 2 million human lives depending on his decisions. Somewhere out there, billions of alien beings were preparing for a war that nobody wanted. "Nari," he said quietly, "open a channel to the alien fleet. I want to try one more time to make them understand who we really are." As the galaxy prepared for war, one human captain was about to make a decision that would determine the future of all life among the stars. Captain Jiho made the decision that would change galactic history. Standing on the bridge of the Iron Mountain, he looked at his senior staff and spoke with quiet determination. "We are going to show them everything," he announced. "Every deck, every system, every family. We are going to prove that this ship is not a weapon of war." Diplomatic Advisor Wu Jin stepped forward. "Captain, that is a significant risk. Showing aliens our complete capabilities could be dangerous if they are hostile." "They are not hostile," Jiho replied. "They are terrified. There is a difference. Nari, open a direct communication channel to the alien fleet commander." Communications. Officer Nari worked quickly at her controls. "Channel open, sir. This is Captain Jiho of the human vessel Iron Mountain," he began, speaking slowly and clearly. "I know you are afraid of our ship. I know you think we are here to attack you. I want to show you that you are wrong." Commander Zixtel received the transmission aboard his flagship. The human captain appeared on his screen, a calm-looking being with kind eyes, but Zixtel had seen too many warriors who could appear peaceful before striking. "Human captain," Zixtel replied carefully, "your ship carries enough weapons to destroy planets. Why should we believe your peaceful words?" "Because I am going to show you what those weapons are really for," Jiho answered. "I am going to show you what our ship really is." What happened next amazed the alien fleet. The Iron Mountain slowly rotated to present its starboard side to the watching alien ships. As they watched, massive bay doors opened along the ship's hull, revealing the interior of the vessel. "Look," Captain Jiho's voice came over the communication channel. "Look and see what we really are." Through the open bay doors, the aliens could see inside the human ship. They saw vast green spaces with trees and grass growing under artificial sunlight. They saw residential areas with thousands of homes where families lived. They saw children playing in parks while their parents watched and smiled. Chief Engineer Sora activated the ship's external lighting systems to give the aliens a better view. "These are our manufacturing bays," she explained over the open channel. "We use them to build homes and schools for new colonies." The aliens watched in fascination as human workers operated massive construction machines, building prefabricated buildings that would be used to establish settlements on new worlds. "And these," said Medical Officer Inha as another section lit up, "are our medical facilities." The aliens could see hospital wards, research laboratories, and treatment centers that could care for millions of people. Dr. Inha continued, "We carry medical supplies and equipment to establish hospitals on colony worlds. We also research diseases and develop new treatments during our long journeys between stars." Commander Zixtel stared at the images. "This is impossible," he whispered to his science officer. "No species builds ships like this." "Sir," his science officer replied, "I am scanning the open sections. The life support systems are designed to maintain environmental conditions for millions of beings over periods of many years. This vessel is built to sustain an entire civilization." Engineer Taywin activated displays showing the ship's manufacturing capabilities. "Our construction systems can build everything from small homes to entire city districts," he explained. "When we reach a suitable planet, we can establish a complete colony within months." The aliens watched as human workers demonstrated the production of housing modules, power generators, communication systems, and even vehicles for planetary exploration. The scale of the operation was beyond anything they had imagined. "But the weapons?" Commander Zixtel asked. "Why does a colony ship need so many weapons?" Security Chief Gunwoo answered this question. "Our journey between stars takes many years," he explained. "We encounter asteroid fields, space debris, and cosmic hazards. Our defensive systems protect our families from these dangers." To demonstrate, Gunwoo targeted a nearby asteroid with one of the ship's mining lasers. The powerful beam sliced through the space rock like a knife through soft material, breaking it into manageable pieces. "We use these systems to clear safe passages through asteroid fields," Gunwoo continued. "We also use them to mine raw materials for our colonies." Strategic analyst Jinsu displayed three-dimensional maps of human expansion into space. "We are explorers," he explained. "We search for worlds where our people can build new homes. The Iron Mountain is one of several colony ships spreading human civilization to distant stars." The aliens studied the maps showing human colony locations. They were not military bases or invasion staging areas. They were peaceful settlements, with farms, cities, and families. cultural liaison. Minji began broadcasting recordings of human music, art, and literature. "This is who we are," she said. "We are a species that creates beauty and shares knowledge. We want to learn about other cultures and share our own." The aliens listened to human symphony orchestras performing inside the Iron Mountain's concert halls. They saw art galleries displaying thousands of years of human creativity. They watched recordings of human children learning about science, mathematics, and philosophy. "Every human colony ship carries our complete cultural heritage," Minji explained. "We preserve and share the best of humanity wherever we go." Pilot Yuna showed the aliens the ship's navigation systems. "Our journey to this region took 15 years, she said. "We travel slowly because we are carrying entire communities, not military forces." The aliens were beginning to understand something that shocked them. Humans did not build warships and then add living spaces. They built mobile cities and then added the systems needed to protect them during decades-long journeys through dangerous space. Teacher Hyemin appeared on the communication channel, speaking from one of the ship's schools. Behind her, human children of various ages were attending classes about mathematics, history, and science. "These children were born during our journey," Hyemin explained. "By the time we reach our destination, some of them will have families of their own. This ship is their entire world." Commander Zixtel felt his understanding of the universe shift. "They do not just travel in space," he said to his crew. "They live in space. They have built a complete civilization that moves between the stars." Science. Officer Sunmi demonstrated the ship's research laboratories, where human scientists studied everything from stellar physics to agricultural techniques. "We use our journey time to advance human knowledge," she explained. "Every colony ship is also a research vessel." The aliens watched human scientists working on projects to improve crop yields, develop new medicines, and understand the nature of the universe. These were not weapons researchers or military planners. They were academics and explorers pursuing knowledge for its own sake. Colony Administrator Kyung appeared via recorded message from the human settlement on New Seoul. "The Iron Mountain delivered our colony equipment 3 years ago," he explained. "Today, we have a thriving community of 50,000 people with farms, schools, and manufacturing facilities." The recording showed happy human families living in comfortable homes on an alien world. Children played in safe playgrounds while their parents worked in clean, modern facilities. There were no military installations or weapons factories, just a peaceful human community building a new life among the stars. "This is our purpose," Captain Jiho said as the tour concluded. "We are not conquerors. We are gardeners. We plant human communities on suitable worlds and help them grow into thriving civilizations." Commander Zixtel sat in stunned silence for several minutes. Finally, he spoke to his communications officer. "Send a message to Council Headquarters," he ordered. "Tell them we have made a terrible mistake. The humans are not invaders. They are the most peaceful species we have ever encountered." "Sir?" his weapons officer asked. "What about their massive ship and all those weapons?" Zixtel looked at the Iron Mountain with new understanding. "They are not weapons of conquest," he said. "They are tools of protection. These beings love their families so much that they built entire mobile worlds to keep them safe during journeys that last decades." As word of the truth about humanity spread through the alien fleet, fear began to transform into wonder and respect. The galaxy was about to learn that it had encountered not its greatest threat, but potentially its greatest friend. The first alien shuttle to dock with the Iron Mountain carried Commander Zixtel and a small diplomatic team. As the airlock opened, the Kethvar commander stepped into a world that challenged everything he thought he knew about spacefaring civilizations. Cultural. Liaison Minji greeted the alien delegation in the Iron Mountain's main reception hall. The vast space was decorated with artwork from dozens of human cultures, and soft music played from hidden speakers. Living plants grew in carefully tended gardens, and fountains provided the gentle sound of flowing water. "Welcome to our home," Minji said with a warm smile. "We are honored to be the first humans to meet beings from other worlds." Commander Zixtel looked around in amazement. The reception hall was larger than most spacecraft, yet it was clearly designed for beauty and comfort rather than military purposes. His aide, Science Officer Kelthin, was already scanning the environment with portable instruments. "Commander," Kelthin whispered, "the air quality is perfect. They have created a complete ecosystem inside their ship." "This is impossible," Zixtel murmured. "How do you maintain such an environment during long space voyages?" Dr. Inha approached, the group with a medical scanner in her hands. "May I?" she asked politely. "I would like to ensure that our environments are compatible and that neither of our species carries diseases that could harm the other." The aliens agreed, and Dr. Inha performed quick medical scans of each visitor. As she worked, she explained her findings. "Fascinating," she said with scientific excitement. "Your physiology is carbon-based like ours, but your respiratory system is more efficient. Your species has adapted to environments with lower oxygen levels." "You find this interesting rather than threatening?" Zixtel asked, surprised by the human doctor's enthusiasm. "Of course," Dr. Inha replied. "Every species we meet teaches us something new about the possibilities of life. Your biological adaptations could help us develop better life support systems for human colonies on worlds with thin atmospheres." Chief Engineer Sora joined the group to explain the ship's technical systems. "Would you like to see how we maintain our environment?" she asked. "I think you will find our approach interesting." As they walked through the ship's corridors, the aliens saw human families going about their daily lives. Children played in playground areas while their parents worked in nearby shops and offices. Elderly humans tended community gardens where fresh food was grown for the ship's population. "How long have these people lived on this ship?" Zixtel asked. "Some were born here during our journey," Sora explained. "Others joined us from our last colony stop. We are not just traveling to establish a new settlement, we are living complete lives during the journey." The aliens visited the ship's educational facilities, where teacher Hyemen was conducting a class about galactic geography for human children. When the alien visitors entered, the children looked up with curiosity rather than fear. "Children," Hyemen said, "these are our new alien friends. Would you like to ask them some questions?" A young human girl raised her hand. "What is your home planet like? Do you have oceans like Earth?" Zixtel found himself smiling despite his reptilian features. "Yes, little one. My world has great seas, but they are purple instead of blue because of the minerals in our water." The children listened with fascination as the alien commander described his homeworld. They asked innocent questions about alien food, alien animals, and whether alien children played games similar to human children. "Do you have families?" asked a young human boy. "Yes," Kelthin answered. "I have 3 offspring and a mate who tends our family's garden. Our young learn by working alongside their parents, just like your children appear to do." Security Chief Gunwoo met the delegation in the ship's security center, but instead of showing weapons and defensive systems, he demonstrated human martial arts and conflict resolution techniques. "Violence is always our last choice," Gunwoo explained, as he performed a slow, graceful kata. "Our security philosophy focuses on protection and de-escalation, rather than destruction." The aliens watched as human security officers practiced non-lethal restraint techniques and crisis management procedures. These were not warriors training for battle, but peacekeepers learning to protect their community. "But surely you must prepare for combat against hostile forces," Zixtel asked. "We train to defend our families if necessary," Gunwoo replied. "But our greatest security comes from making friends, not defeating enemies. A friend will help you when you are in trouble. An enemy will only cause more problems." Strategic analyst Jinsu showed the delegation the ship's planning and analysis center, where human experts studied potential colony worlds and developed settlement strategies. "Each colony must be completely self-sufficient," Jinsu explained. "We cannot depend on regular supply shipments from Earth or other human worlds. Every settlement must be able to survive and thrive independently." The aliens studied holographic displays showing detailed plans for establishing human communities on various types of planets. They saw agricultural systems, manufacturing facilities, and educational institutions, but no military bases or weapons factories. "You do not plan for conquest?" Zixtel asked. "Conquest of what?" Jinsu replied with genuine confusion. "We are looking for empty worlds where we can build homes for our families. If a world already has intelligent life, we do not settle there. The universe is vast enough for everyone." Pilot Yuna took the delegation to the ship's navigation center, where massive displays showed star charts covering thousands of light-years of space. Red markers indicated known alien territories, while blue markers showed potential human colony sites. "See?" Yuna pointed to the display. "We specifically avoid areas where other species have established territories. We are explorers, not invaders. There are billions of empty worlds in the galaxy where humans can build new homes." The aliens studied the human star charts and realized that humans were deliberately choosing remote, unpopulated systems for their colonies. They were not expanding into established alien territory, but rather settling in the vast, empty spaces between existing civilizations. Communications Officer Nari demonstrated the ship's translation and communication systems. "We have been working to understand your languages and culture," she explained. "Communication is the foundation of friendship between different species." "You want to be friends with us?" Kelton asked, still amazed by the concept. "Of course," Nari replied. "Friendship benefits everyone. We can share knowledge, trade resources, and help each other solve problems. Why would we want to be enemies?" The cultural exchange continued as human artists, musicians, and writers shared their work with the alien visitors. The aliens heard human music that told stories of love, loss, hope, and discovery. They saw paintings and sculptures that captured the beauty of human emotions and experiences. Musician Tae-hyun performed a piece written specifically for the first contact with alien life. The music began with a single human voice, representing humanity alone in the universe. Gradually, other instruments joined in, symbolizing the meeting of different species and the harmony that could result from cooperation. "This is beautiful," Zixtel said as the music concluded. "Your species has a great gift for creating art that speaks to the emotions." "Music is a universal language," Tae-hyun replied. Even though we come from different worlds, we can all understand the feelings that music expresses. Chef Jusub prepared a meal featuring foods from the ship's agricultural sections. The aliens tasted fruits and vegetables grown in the Iron Mountain's hydroponic gardens, experiencing flavors they had never encountered before. "This fruit is remarkably sweet," Kelthan observed. "Our species would enjoy trading for such foods." "Trade?" Captain Jiho asked as he joined the group. "We would be happy to share our agricultural knowledge and genetic samples. Friends do not trade, they share." As the day continued, the aliens toured the ship's research laboratories, manufacturing facilities, and residential areas. They met human families from many different cultures and backgrounds, all united in their shared journey to establish a new home among the stars. By the end of their visit, Commander Zixtel understood that he had witnessed something unprecedented in galactic history. The humans had built not just a ship, but a complete mobile civilization dedicated to peaceful expansion and cultural preservation. "Captain Jiho," Zixtel said as he prepared to return to his own ship, "my species and others in the Galactic Council have much to learn from humanity. You have shown us that strength can be used to protect rather than conquer, and that the greatest power comes from building rather than destroying." "We look forward to learning from you as well," Jiho replied. "Every species has unique knowledge and perspectives that can benefit all of us." As the alien shuttle departed the Iron Mountain, Zixtel carried with him not just information about human technology and capabilities, but a new understanding of what it meant to be a spacefaring civilization. The humans had achieved something that no other species had managed. They had built a way of life that could flourish among the stars while maintaining their values of family, cooperation, and peaceful exploration. The emergency session of the Galactic Council had been going for 6 hours, but nobody was tired. Commander Zixtel stood at the center of the Great Assembly Hall, delivering his report about the humans to representatives from 47 different species. The images and data he shared challenged everything the galaxy thought it knew about spacefaring civilizations. "Fellow delegates," Zixtel began, "I have spent 3 days aboard the human vessel Iron Mountain. What I discovered there will change how we think about space exploration forever." The massive holographic display showed detailed scans of the Iron Mountain's interior. The delegates stared in amazement at residential districts, parks, schools, and manufacturing facilities that rivaled the best installations on their homeworlds. Council Speaker Mordain leaned forward in her chair. "Commander, your report suggests this vessel houses over 2 million beings. How is this possible?" "Honored Speaker, the humans do not build ships the way we do. They build mobile worlds. The Iron Mountain is not just a vessel that carries people from one place to another. It is a complete civilization that lives in space." Science Advisor Hyemin appeared on the main communication screen from the Iron Mountain. Captain Jiho had agreed to let her address the Council directly to explain human space exploration philosophy. "Honored delegates," Yemen began, "I want to help you understand why humans build ships the way we do. Our home planet, Earth, is very far from most habitable worlds. A journey to establish a new colony can take 20 to 30 years, the alien delegates murmured among themselves. Most of their own space journeys took weeks or months, not decades. During such a long journey, Yemen continued, people cannot simply sleep in small cabins and eat preserved food. They must live complete lives. Children are born, grow up, receive education, and become adults during the voyage. Families need homes, Communities need gathering places, and societies need all the institutions that make life meaningful. Strategic analyst Jin Su joined the transmission from his station aboard the Iron Mountain. Our colony ships are designed to be self-sufficient for 50 years or more, he explained. We must be able to manufacture everything we need, from clothing and tools to complex electronic systems and medical equipment. The Vorthak delegate, who had been among the most vocal about treating humans as a threat, spoke up. But the weapons, human Jinsu. Why does a colony ship need so many powerful weapons? Because space is dangerous, Jinsu replied simply. During a 30-year journey, we encounter asteroid fields, cosmic radiation storms, and space debris traveling at incredible speeds. Our defensive systems must be powerful enough to protect millions of people from these hazards. Engineer Taewon demonstrated the ship's mining and construction capabilities. These systems that you call weapons are actually tools, he explained. We use them to mine asteroids for raw materials, clear safe passages through debris fields, and construct facilities on colony worlds. The aliens watched as human workers used massive industrial lasers to slice through asteroids, extracting metals and minerals that would be used to build homes and infrastructure on new worlds. Every human colony must be established quickly and efficiently, Taewon continued. When we arrive at a suitable planet, we use our ship's manufacturing systems to build everything the colonists need within a matter of months. Dr. Inha appeared on screen to address concerns about human biological capabilities. Many of you are worried about human physical and mental characteristics, she said. I want to assure you that humans are not a warrior species. We are primarily builders and caretakers. The medical data she shared showed human physiological adaptations for endurance, problem-solving, and cooperation rather than combat. Human brains were highly developed for learning, planning, and working together in large groups. Humans form strong emotional bonds with their families and communities, Dr. Inha explained. Our greatest motivation is protecting and caring for the people we love. This is why we build such massive, well-defended ships. We are not trying to conquer anyone. We are trying to keep our families safe during dangerous journeys through space. Cultural liaison Minji shared recordings of human art, music, and literature with the council. These are the things humans value most, she said. Beauty, knowledge, love, and hope for the future. Every colony ship carries our complete cultural heritage because we believe these things are what make life worth living. The delegates listened to human symphonies and viewed human paintings that celebrated life, nature, and the bonds between people. They read human poetry about exploration, discovery, and the wonder of meeting new friends among the stars. Humans are natural teachers and students, Minji explained. We preserve knowledge from our past and eagerly seek to learn new things from everyone we meet. We view each new species as an opportunity to expand our understanding of the universe. Pilot Yuna demonstrated human navigation and exploration techniques. We spend decades studying potential colony sites before we commit to settlement, she said. We analyze climate, geology, and ecology to ensure our colonies will not damage existing ecosystems. The star charts she showed revealed something that amazed the council delegates. Humans had identified thousands of suitable colony worlds, but they had deliberately avoided any system that showed signs of existing intelligent life. We have no interest in taking worlds that belong to other species, Yuna explained. The galaxy is vast and contains billions of empty planets suitable for human colonization. Why would we want to fight for worlds when we can simply find uninhabited ones? Security Chief Gunwoo addressed concerns about human military capabilities. Humans have a warrior tradition, he admitted, but it is focused on protection, not conquest. Our martial arts and military training emphasize discipline, honor, and the defense of the innocent. The demonstration he provided showed human combat techniques that were designed to minimize harm while neutralizing threats. Human warriors trained to capture rather than kill, to defend rather than attack, and to protect civilians rather than terrorize enemies. The strongest human warrior is one who never needs to fight because he has made friends with everyone around him, Gunwoo explained, quoting an ancient human philosophy. The Galactic Council delegates began to understand that they had been thinking about space exploration in completely the wrong way. Where they built fleets of small ships to make quick trips between established worlds, humans built mobile civilizations that could sustain themselves anywhere in the galaxy. This explains the energy readings we detected, said military advisor Zekmol. We were seeing the power output of an entire city, not just a spaceship. The Ferenthian delegate, known for his species' wisdom, spoke thoughtfully. Fellow council members, I believe we are witnessing the next step in the evolution of spacefaring civilizations. Humans have learned to carry their entire culture with them as they explore the galaxy. But how many of these ships do they have? Asked the Altarian delegate. Captain Jiho himself answered this question. Currently, there are 12 human colony ships exploring different regions of the galaxy. Each carries between 1 and 3 million people. Our goal is to establish 50 human colonies over the next 2 centuries. The mathematical implications were staggering. 50 colonies, each supporting millions of people, would make humanity one of the largest spacefaring civilizations in the galaxy within a few generations. Are you concerned about resources? Asked the Thraxian delegate. 50 colonies would consume enormous amounts of materials and energy. Not at all, replied human scientist Sun Mi. Each human colony is designed to be completely self-sufficient. We terraform planets, develop sustainable industries, and create closed-loop ecological systems. Human colonies add to the galaxy's resources rather than depleting them. She showed data from existing human settlements like New Sol and Terra Nova. These colonies had not only become self-sufficient within a few years, but were actually improving their planetary environments through careful ecological management. Humans appear to be natural gardeners, observed the Zolonian delegate. They make worlds more beautiful and productive rather than stripping them of resources. The council session continued for several more hours as delegates asked questions about human technology, culture, and intentions. By the end of the session, the mood in the chamber had completely changed. Where there had been fear and suspicion, there was now wonder and admiration. The humans represented something the galaxy had never seen before, a species that had learned to thrive in the emptiness between stars while maintaining their values of family, cooperation, and peaceful exploration. I call for a vote, announced Speaker Mordain. All those in favor of offering full membership in the Galactic Council to the human species? 46 hands were raised. Only one delegate abstained, and that was only because his species required time to consult with their homeworld government before making such an important decision. The motion carries, Mordain announced. Humanity is hereby welcomed as the 48th member of the Galactic Council. As the session ended, delegates from dozens of worlds began making plans to visit human colonies and learn from their remarkable approach to space colonization. The galaxy had gained not just a new member, but a new vision of what was possible among the stars. The formal ceremony took place in the Great Assembly Hall of the Galactic Council headquarters on Nexus Prime. Captain Jiho stood beside Council Speaker Mordain as representatives from 47 different species watched humanity officially. Join the galactic community. Today marks a new chapter in galactic history, Speaker Mordain announced. We welcome humanity, not just as a member of our council, but as teachers who have shown us new possibilities for life among the stars. Captain Jiho accepted the ceremonial data crystal that contained the complete records of galactic law, history, and culture. In return, he presented the council with a crystal containing the entire history of human civilization, from the first cave paintings to the latest scientific discoveries made aboard the colony ships. We come to you not as strangers, but as neighbors who have been living in the same galaxy without knowing each other existed, Jiho said. Today, our long isolation ends, and our shared future begins. But even as the ceremony concluded, both humans and aliens were learning that first contact was just the beginning of a complex relationship. In the weeks following humanity's admission to the Council, delegations from dozens of worlds arrived to visit human colonies and study their remarkable technology. The Vorthak, despite their initial fears, became fascinated with human engineering approaches. Their delegation to New Sol spent months studying how humans had transformed a barren world into a thriving colony with cities, farms, and manufacturing centers. Your construction techniques are revolutionary, Vorthak engineer Morkek told Colony Administrator Kyung. We build structures to last centuries, but you build them to grow and adapt as your communities expand. Every human settlement is designed to evolve, Kyung replied. We start with basic necessities and gradually add schools, hospitals, entertainment centers, and research facilities as our population grows. A human colony never stops improving. Meanwhile, the Ferenthian delegation was amazed by human approaches to education and knowledge preservation. Teacher Hyemen showed them the educational systems aboard the Iron Mountain, where children learned not just facts, but how to think, create, and solve problems. Human education emphasizes curiosity and creativity over memorization, Hyemen explained. We want our children to become explorers and inventors, not just followers of established procedures. The Ferenthian educators were particularly impressed by how humans integrated practical skills with academic learning. Children learned mathematics by helping design colony buildings, studied biology by working in agricultural sections, and learned physics by maintaining the ship's systems. This approach produces adults who can adapt to any situation, observed Ferenthian scholar Kelwin. No wonder humans can establish successful colonies on such diverse worlds. Dr. Inha found herself working closely with medical researchers from multiple species. The alien doctors were amazed by human medical philosophy, which emphasized prevention and healing rather than just treating symptoms. Humans view medicine as both science and art, Dr. Inha explained to a gathering of galactic medical professionals. We treat not just diseases, but the whole person. Physical health, mental health, and social connections are all part of our medical approach. The medical exchange proved especially valuable when dealing with the challenges of multi-species interaction. Dr. Inha and her alien colleagues developed new protocols for safely allowing different species to work together without risk of biological contamination. Cultural liaison Minji organized the first interspecies cultural festival aboard the Iron Mountain. Artists, musicians, and writers from dozens of worlds shared their work, creating new forms of art that combined elements from multiple civilizations. The festival's highlight was a musical collaboration between human composer Tae-hyun and Thraxian crystal singer Velmira. Their piece combined human orchestral instruments with Thraxian crystalline harmonics, creating sounds that no single species could produce alone. Art is the bridge between different ways of thinking, Minji explained to the festival participants. When we create together, we learn to understand each other at the deepest level. Strategic analyst Jinsu worked with Council military advisors to develop new approaches to galactic security. The traditional model of competing fleets and territorial boundaries seemed outdated when humans had demonstrated that the galaxy was vast enough for everyone. Human security philosophy is based on abundance rather than scarcity, Jinsu explained to General Korthvan and other military leaders. Instead of fighting over existing resources, we create new resources. Instead of defending territory, we find new territory. The aliens were particularly interested in human terraforming technology. The ability to transform barren worlds into garden planets meant that the galaxy's habitable space could be expanded almost infinitely. Your species has solved the fundamental problem of galactic civilization, General Korthvan admitted. Resource competition has been the source of most conflicts in galactic history. If every species can create their own worlds, there is no need for war. But perhaps the most significant development was the gradual appearance of other human colony ships throughout galactic space. As word of first contact spread, 12 massive vessels began changing course toward Council territory. Pilot Yuna coordinated the complex logistics of bringing the human fleet together for the first time in decades. Each ship has been exploring a different region of the galaxy, she explained to Council navigation specialists. We maintained communication, but our journeys have taken us thousands of light years apart. The arrival of the second human colony, ship New Harmony, created another sensation. Commander Zixtel, who had become something of an expert on human vessels, was amazed to discover that each ship was unique. They have the same basic design philosophy, he reported to the Council. But New Harmony specializes in agricultural research while Iron Mountain focuses on general colonization. Each ship represents a different aspect of human civilization. The third ship to arrive, Stellar Garden, was even more specialized. It carried botanical samples from hundreds of worlds and teams of scientists dedicated to developing new forms of plant life that could thrive on alien planets. We are gardeners of the galaxy, explained Stellar Garden's Captain Miho to amazed alien botanists. Our mission is to help every world reach its full potential for supporting life. As more human ships arrived, the aliens began to understand the true scope of human space exploration. The colony ships had been mapping and cataloging the galaxy for decades, identifying suitable worlds and documenting the locations of existing alien civilizations. You have been exploring our territory for years without our knowledge, the Altarian delegate pointed out during a council session. We have been exploring empty space and avoiding your territory, Captain Jiho corrected gently. Human ships have standing orders to maintain distance from any system showing signs of intelligent life until formal contact can be established. The complete human star charts, when finally shared with the Council, revealed something extraordinary. Humans had identified over 10,000 potentially habitable worlds that no alien species had ever discovered. The galaxy was far larger and more diverse than anyone had imagined. This changes everything, Speaker Mordain announced. With human exploration data and terraforming technology, every species in the Council can expand their civilization without competing for existing worlds. The transformation of galactic society accelerated as human technology and philosophy spread throughout Council space. The traditional model of small, fast ships making short journeys between established worlds began to give way to larger, more self-sufficient vessels capable of long-range exploration. Several alien species announced plans to build their own version of colony ships, adapted to their particular biological and cultural needs. The HFY designed sleek exploration vessels that could carry smaller communities on extended mapping missions. The Vorthak planned massive industrial ships that could establish mining operations in asteroid fields and on barren planets. Humans have shown us that space is not a barrier between worlds, observed Ferenthian philosopher Mordell. It is a vast ocean of opportunity waiting for explorers brave enough to sail it. The Iron Mountain itself became a traveling embassy, carrying council delegations on tours of human colonies throughout the galaxy. Each visit strengthened the bonds between species and demonstrated the practical benefits of cooperation over competition. As Captain Jiho stood on his bridge, watching alien and human children play together in the ship's recreational areas, he reflected on how much had changed since that first frightening encounter with Commander Zixtel's reconnaissance fleet. Captain, Communications Officer Nari, reported, "We are receiving a priority message from Earth. The Home Council wants to know when we plan to return for our next supply and personnel exchange." Jiho smiled as he looked at the integrated bridge crew that now included alien specialists working alongside human officers. Pilot Yuna was teaching HFY navigation techniques to a young alien officer, while Chief Engineer Sora collaborated with Vorthak technicians on improvements to the ship's power systems. "Tell Earth that our mission has changed," Jiho replied. "We are no longer just a colony ship. We have become something new, something the G8